Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And I know, hold on, I just gotta do one thing real quick. Not that. That. All right. I know what you guys are thinking. Wait a minute, this isn't Thursday, is it? Because usually I do these on a Thursday. No. It's Friday. I've had a busy couple of days. Yesterday I had a funeral, which I would not get back in time for to do one of these. And today has been super busy setting up for London Comic Con, which I'll be at all weekend. So this is my first reaction to the finale of Strange New Worlds Season 3, New Life and New Civilizations. So welcome to it. we will be doing our complete review and breakdown on Monday for the live at 4 p.m. So 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check it out. Switch accounts. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Trekyardians said, I like this episode, but it seems to be hit or miss with people. As with most of the episodes this season, yes. I called this one Inner Light 2.0 or Inner Light 0.5 because it came before Picard. It's an interesting one. I don't know how I feel about it. Neil Hammersmith, the pacing of this episode was horrible and the writers used bullshittery for the science parts. The pacing was a little horrible. Marco, it had some nice moments between Kirk and Spock, and I did like the fact that Pike and Patel had a life, even if simulated, and that is all I liked about the episode. Everything else was just disappointing. I kind of agree with you there, and actually it's funny because that ending, I don't know about you guys, but that ending seemed like a series finale, not a season finale. It really felt like they weren't sure they were getting another season, so they kind of tied everything up in a nice little bow, and got the Kirk and Spock moment, the James and Sam moment at the end there as well. It felt very series finale, and I don't know if I'm the only one that thought that, but I definitely got those vibes from it. Just the way that end of the episode was edited together, the music, the wrap up, it all felt very series finale, not season finale. But maybe that was just me. Call Me Jim was a nice touch, though. Yes. It was okay, not great, but not bad. It was entertaining enough, not super great sci-fi, but good enough for the modern Star Trek, with Disco and Picard being the comparisons. I say 6 out of 10. That's from BJ Tehran. Ozzy said this was a great episode. Was it, though? Phil Arab 80. It was a good episode, just not a good season finale. Yeah, I mean, I might buy that. I like the way they tied it together with like Patel being the statue from the episodes, like the third episode. That was interesting, and non-linear time and cause before effect or effect before cause, shit like that. But yeah. I do feel Strange New World is recycling too much stuff from older Trek series. I mean, they all do. All Trek series recycle stuff from other Trek series, just some do it a lot better than others. But yes, I would say that is an accurate assessment. They just are making a very good point of covering it up. BJ throws in $2. It says, he's alive. He's alive. I am indeed alive, yes. Pug alert, yes. Jeremy Wash, what do you mean recycled? They're supposed to be older Trek era. He means story ideas. BJ, sorry about the funeral. Good luck at convention. Thank you, BJ. Hypno Amber, this episode was meh. Yeah. Um, a lot of stuff in Stranger World is an older Trek kind of rehash, just like some episodes of TNG's first season. Yep. Neil Hammersmith, Putzman was in full form with this episode. I got the feeling the writers dropped their pencils and fuck it for the season. I like how Pally at one point is like, have I told you about my time doctor? Another Doctor Who reference. Somebody on the writing staff is a Doctor Who fan, or somebody like people in the production are, because we saw TARDIS in the Scavenger episode, and you got a Doctor Who reference here. So Hypnover says it was a mess, pacing bad, so choppy it made me seasick. Yeah, and what's with Pike's hair? Dude, do not grow your hair out. Do not do that for an older look. Just stop. Just don't style it as high. Cut it shorter. Do something. Don't let your hair grow out like that when you get older. Not that you're going to get that old, but you know what I mean? Bullshit. Bullshit for his hair. BJ says the S9 went to new places, but they had the advantage of being only the third series. Okay. Ozzy says season 4, episodes 1 and 2 are the Muppets. Dun dun dun. Do you know that for a fact? Spocky. Yes. Okay, Precious, lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Play with that. The guy on the beds and sick with Chapel, is that Sulu? No. Renee Lorraine, I'm just glad it was not a cliffhanger. I agree with you on that. We don't need cliffhangers to bring us back. Hypno Amber, seriously, 2 Muppet episodes? I sure hope not. I don't think so. BJ, acting is all very good. They're all likable, relatable. It's a high quality production. That is what saves Strange New Worlds. Writing is hit or near miss, but never terrible. It's good enough to be worth watching. That's a ringing endorsement, is what that is. Joe Brown, most of the season has been a lot of meh, still enjoyable. Yeah, I can see why people, but it's interesting. Each episode, some people love it, some people hate it. Like it's a polarizing show. The episodes are very polarizing for some reason. I guess they're doing something right in doing that. I don't know, but I don't know. Uncle Spooky. Philarob 80, I also liked that she gave him a life beyond the wheelchair. Yeah, it gave me very strong inner light vibes, like Picard living another life. This was his life, though. But at the same time, yes, you got to live to the end of her life, at least, and be an old man. But, you know, I'd still love my daughter and miss her and wondering what her life was going to be like. Oh, she never existed. That makes it kind of worse in a way. But yeah, I do like the idea behind it. So Neil Hammersmith, good to the writers. Good to the writers decided to re-Timu the Farragut as the AliExpress Miranda. Trek or not. So are those evil aliens like the same as the Mad Voyager ones that attacked the Equinox? They certainly look the same, and you're absolutely right on that. That's an interesting concept. I don't think so. Although those were interdimensional, if I recall correctly. And the visuals were quite the same. So yeah, that's a good call out there, Trek or not. I don't know. Don't know. BJ says, if I come away with 2 or 3 episodes I really enjoyed, I call it a win. Stranger Worlds has always done that for me. Yeah, absolutely. I think I enjoy the majority of Stranger Worlds episodes. Yes, they have their problems when it comes to time, distance, few plot holes here and there, maybe more than we care to admit sometimes. But overall, I find I really enjoy each episode of Strange New Worlds, and I come away from it feeling better and more positive for the experience as a whole. So it wins me on that vote. Sergeant Montgomery says, I wish somebody on the writing staff was a Star Trek fan. Wah wah. Ozzy, hype 'em, Amber. It's on the list already. Okay. Trek or not. Actually, this story arc is very Doctor Who. Fantastical and silly. Doctor Who is shit and overblown. Wow. It is very Doctor Who, actually, the storyline, because it's the whole cause and effect thing, right? Interesting. Hypnoamber, that's why Pelia keeps missing during the season. She's taking short vacays with the Doctor. She's a companion. BJ, maybe they're too much fans. Put several super fans in a room and you might very well have a fight. Oh, for the writers being Star Trek fans? I don't know. They seem to address a lot of the issues that people had with Discovery. Like, I think there are fans on the team. They do a pretty good job of tying things together and not totally shattering canon in most instances. So I got to give them props for that. I think that's a big home run for them. So Ozzy said, Jim told so you can dance. Jim told so you can dance. Yes, dance lessons. Code for sex. I don't know. Mateo Vincent, Captain, how did you feel or like the M83 song at the end? Did you know it? I had heard it, didn't know it was an M83 song. Don't know what that means. Just is that the group? I don't know. I kind of enjoyed it. It was an interesting song. I walked away from the episode like singing it in my head. So yeah, I think it was appropriate for the tone they were going for. Marco, does the Vulcan captain relegate all conference calls to Kirk? I can't be bothered. Hey, Jim, please take that call. Well, yeah, she's a Vulcan, so I have no problem with that, because she's basically like, you're the commander. This is kind of, these are the people you've dealt with before. I'm going to let you deal with them. I have no problem with that. I thought that was a little odd too at first, and then, it's fine. But yeah, I wish she would have at least came on and said something. And I thought they didn't get the actress back, but they did, because she was on the bridge of the Farragut. So yeah. Olivia throws in $2. Puggy treat for the puggy. Olivia wants to give you treats. Nobody's budging. Trek or not, biggest plot hole is when they combined phasers and they didn't account for the response variation on the consoles. Surely they could not be exactly the same. It was such a small part of the episode, if I'm honest. The episode felt like 2 episodes kind of crammed together in a way, and I didn't give a shit about the gamble. What the hell is his name? The Vesda thing, really? But I thought it was interesting that Patel, who now has Illyrian blood, Gorn DNA, Chimera flower. Did she say Vulcan, like the mind meld had an effect? But these are all races that knew how to deal with the Vesda. So she became like the all-encompassing like protector. I thought that was interesting. I did not see that coming when they were doing the Gorn hybrid thing. I thought that was going somewhere completely different. So I mean, kudos to them for surprising us. But Chuck Jones, whatever happened to Patel's Gorn infection? I thought they were going to wrap it up, but instead she becomes Captain Marvel. Oh, they kind of did wrap it up. They got it under control. She had to take treatments. They even talk about it when she was up for the job at Starfleet judicial, I guess. So I think that was wrapped up fine. I'm glad it didn't revisit the Gorn actually in this episode, even though it's kind of what we expected. So Hypno Amber, there wasn't a single episode that I absolutely hated and would skip this season, but there has been only one that I love forever and one that I really enjoy. And which one is that, Hypno Amber? I feel like I should know. Ozzy says, Enterprise Maneuver remind me with Columbia episode. Oh, the warp with the 2 NX classes? Yeah. Sergeant Montgomery. So her whole flash of life in love with Pike was to gain enough energy to defeat the enemy. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Meteo Surreal. It does not make her Iron Man. Okay. Wiggy D. He ends up in another dream. Live, love in the end too, I guess. Yeah, with Vina. Yeah, he does. Absolutely. And he's already had his Patel life, so he can like do what he wants to do now. Renee Lorraine says, now Pike has to live with these false memories. Stay tuned. Maybe that is the cliffhanger. Dun 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 dun. Hypno Amber, I did not like them making Batel some magical savior of the universe thing. I thought it was interesting. I like the twist on it. I like that it's a character we've known for a while. It wasn't just like character of the week that shows up and turns out that they're the one that has to do this. I think it's a rather interesting idea. I don't have a problem with that so much. I kind of like it, if I'm honest. Neil Hammersmith, like it was mentioning earlier, Putzman and company have to rob ideas from other series because they suck at writing Trek. That's why the alien designs look like Voyager. I mean, possibly, but they don't. Kurtzman has nothing to do with, I want the alien to look like this, necessarily. I mean, he might have to sign off on it and stuff, but that's more Akiva Goldsman's job because he's the showrunner. But they don't really get to dictate. Like Kurtzman wouldn't dictate what an alien should look like. So, Terrence Childs, I would like to see more ship versus ship battles. Yeah, I thought we might get some going into this season. Did not. Lesser Logic is here. Sup, fellow Trekkies? Sup, Lesser Logic? Olivia, $5. Anyone else think those temples look like plumb bobs from The Sims? The diamond thing that tells you which sim you're controlling? Yeah, they kind of do. You know, it's just a floating triangle type situation. Look at Lola behind me. Like, geez. Hypno Member, I thought the song was nice at the end. I also needed a whiskey after that. Yeah, I kind of like the Una and Pike sitting together moment. Medio Surreal, Mass Effect, Galactica, Trek, Tech Wars, up the interstellar singularity of the Chronicles of Dune World. Sure, whatever you just said. BJ, I think Wedding Bell Blues and What is Starfleet are my favorite, my season favorites. A Space Adventure Hour and 4.5 Vulcans are close seconds. Paul Wesley is a good Kirk. Like to see more. Would you like to see more? Yeah, those are all good episodes in my opinion. I think there's more good episodes this season than bad. The first one I didn't really enjoy super much. This one I'm kind of, I don't know. I still need to kind of let it sink in. This one, I don't know how I feel about it. Like I said earlier, the very ending felt very series finale and not so much season finale. Like I said, it felt like they almost didn't know they were getting renewed for another season. So there was a very kind of a finality to the way that the last few minutes kind of played out, which I thought was odd. So 38 of you here, 16 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. If you want to super chat in, I really appreciate it. A few people have, but yeah, we just like hanging out here and talking Trek. So put in your voice any way you can. Neil Hammersmith regarding Canon, they messed up with the mind meld. According to the behind-the-scenes Spectre of the Gun, it was the first time Spock mind melded with Kirk. Dun, dun, dun. You're true with that, yeah. You are correct. And also La'an. Now, La'an giving 2 Vulcan neck pinches, I thought was an interesting moment. Love that Chapel can't do it, even though she tried to do it, right? La'an is probably a little bit stronger than Chapel, so like a Vulcan, a little bit stronger, so to get the pressure points, that's great. The problem I have with it is, for years and years and years, I think it's in the Starfleet medical guide, which I have back here, but the Vulcan nerve pinch works because Vulcans they don't like shaking hands because they got like telepathic powers. That's why they can do the mind melds and stuff. So they emit like a form of electricity from their bodies. That's one of the reasons that the Vulcans can do a Vulcan neck pinch, but no one else can. Just saying. That's since been changed where like humans can learn how to do it, and I think that's kind of silly. But, you know, I thought it was interesting that La'an can do it because she's probably a little bit stronger than Chapel, so I have no issues with that. But yeah, originally it was just that Vulcans could do it because of some electrical or like physiological thing that Vulcans have that enables them to negate or like take out the nerves. But anyway, it's fine. Hypno Amber, the Sims ones have 6 sides, but yeah, I can see that. Grant McGregor, while you feel positive coming out of each episode, some episodes I feel meh. I think I only like 2 episodes overall, episodes 3 and 6. That's fair. I mean, everybody's different, Grant. But yeah, most of them I come out feeling positive. Some of them smiling, like I really enjoyed them. There's ones that I would absolutely rewatch just because they make me feel good. They're good episodes, in my opinion. I mean, like I said, with this season, a lot of people are varied on that. Like, it's kind of polarizing. People will love an episode, and like the same majority of people will hate the same episode. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Ozzy, is this the first mind meld between Kirk and Spooky? Please stop calling him Spooky. I think that's kind of stupid, and I just don't want that becoming a thing that people like keep calling him Spooky, because that's just dumb. But I don't know. Apparently, I didn't think it was the first one, and as somebody just pointed out, yeah, it's anyway. Mateo Surreal, Spectre of the Gun ruled. I remember it, and the FASA RPG generation for the Malconian. I studied to learn exobiology. The Malconians are great visual. But yeah, Spectre of the Gun's a good one. Hypno Amber, I really like that I really think they should have done a flight scene at the end between Gamble and Patel. Oh, a fight scene, not a flight scene. Jesus Christ. I thought they were going to, like the whole episode, and then when Pike answers the door and there's Gamble there, or Vesda, whatever he was, I absolutely thought there was going to be something more than what there was, but it was very simplistic. It's interesting that, you know, this life she built with Pike, her love was stronger than his evil. That's interesting, but yeah, there should have been a little bit more of a scuffle. Lesser Logic, I thought that the final episode would play into the Gorn aspect. As did I. Speaking of the Gorn, I love how that there's no tension between La'an and Ortegas this episode. Although there is a moment where Pike talks to La'an that they're going to go down to the planet, and he's like, I forget exactly what he said, but it was kind of like don't do anything stupid. Not really expounded upon, but it was there. Kind of like she got in trouble for the Gorn thing, but it's fine. Neil Hammersmith, the plot structure for this episode was like Picard Season 1, a lot of cramming of ideas. Yes, sure. Sergeant Montgomery still trying to figure out where Captain Garavik enters the plot. Okay. Why? Oh, you mean Kirk's Captain Garavik. He was... Garavik was his captain when Kirk was a lieutenant, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but when you watch Obsession, I think Kirk was a young lieutenant when the events of that took place. And I think that's the Garavik. I'm not sure. That's a very good question. Ozzy, what about her eyes, like Gary Mitchell eyes? They were very much like Gary Mitchell's eyes, which was quite interesting as well. Yeah, I did clock that for sure. Sergeant Montgomery, also, La'an looked super sexy on the double Vulcan. Oh, I know. I hear you. I feel you. The way her hair was, I mean, she looked good. Good. Hypno Amber, favorite episode this season, and now one of my go-tos is the murder mystery. I love La'an, and it was just fun. Yeah, sometimes that's what you want. It's just fun. Terrence Childs, I might skip this season of Start Trek. I don't know what Start Trek is, but sounds silly. BJ says, on Strange New Worlds, writers and fans, some fans want to stay right on canon like Star Wars has done. Others, like Steve Shives, could care less as long as they like the story. I think Strange New World writers are in the middle. They absolutely are in the middle. They do respect canon to a degree. They do make some canon faux pas, but nowhere near as bad as Discovery did. So, yeah, they are definitely somewhere in the middle. And I think they tell a really good story, a new story. Sometimes you do have to bend canon a little. I mean, even TOS and TNG and stuff, they bent their own canon slightly. Sometimes it was a little snap, a little break of canon here and there, but overall they kept it pretty consistent. So I think Strange New Worlds is kind of on that same footing. They're bending things a little further maybe, but they did learn from Discovery. So Disco already messed canon up. Yeah, Strange New Worlds can't do more harm. Oh, it absolutely can, though. It absolutely can. Hypno Amber, I think the aliens all season have been top notch and the costumes are to die for. Yeah, I was wondering when I'm watching this episode, I was wondering what Hypno Amber would say about Corby's jacket. Because if you notice, when Corby, you see the back of him, his jacket seems very Vulcan-like. It's got like the Vulcan patterning of some of the Vulcan gowns we've seen. So I thought it was interesting. And when I clocked that, I thought, I wonder what Hypno Amber thinks about the costuming in this episode. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. Eric Martin, I really want to know what Kirk did on Orion's second moon. Well, you can imagine. You can just imagine. I mean, it's Kirk. It's an Orion moon. Who knows? Use your imagination better that way. Yes. Kurtzman crap. Yes. Trek or not. The two dead aliens are similar to the aliens that gave the Equinox crew the device to contact the interdimensional aliens. Maybe the device is used to call and imprison them. Maybe. Interesting. I'll need to go check out Equinox now and see. Yeah, Lesser Logic. Yeah, it did feel like a series finale. Yes. Had a lot of whiplash with the back and forth. Yes, absolutely. A little disjointed, as a lot of people have pointed out. It feels very disjointed, and pacing was just everywhere, all over the place. Caravaggio 2012. I appreciated how calm the locals were with Starfleet officers assault 2 guards and later phaser beam strike their monument. Yeah, me too. Corby's like, I've been talking to this guy forever. Finally got, built up a good enough relationship that I can go up there. And then all of a sudden Starfleet comes in and boop, boop, boop. And then later, Pike and Patel show up in Starfleet gear. They go up there. All the monks or whatever that's up there, they're all like, yeah, it's cool. Good job, man. Good job. Yeah, it seemed a little odd to me, too. Terrence Childs. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Vulcan neck pinch. Thank you very much. Perfect. Neil Hammersmith, regarding the Vulcan or the neck pinch, what about Data? Well, he's an android, so he might be able to emit the same kind of electrical impulses from his fingertips as a Vulcan would. And he's also stronger, so if it's just literally a nerve pinch, which it claims to be, yeah, the strength is the key. So that's why a lot of humans can't do it. They just can't get the right amount of pressure on there. Matthew Shook, hey Captain, do you think we will see Captain Patel in Star Trek Strange New World Season 4 or 5? I thought about that after this episode, and I think there's a distinct possibility we might in some form, but I don't know what. Might be a vision that Pike has. I was going to say some kind of maybe flashback, an alternate Patel. If they go to do a Mirror Universe episode or something like that, I can see that happening. Yeah, I think we'll see Patel in some form in the future. BJ, I'm okay with La'an's Vulcan neck pinch because of her super strength and reflexes and Spock teaching her. Non-Vulcans have done in Star Trek before, I think. Data did. Yes. Yes. But prior to that, I don't even know if it... I think it's in here. Hold on. If I can... Hi. How you doing? Up close and personal. Glad I smell good. All right, so let's go to the Vulcans. Actually, is there? I got my Starfleet medical reference manual from back in the day. I think there's a section in here. Vulcan Physiology, page 52. Holy shit, there's a lot of Vulcans. Okay. Skin. Give me a second here. Lungs. Production. Okay. Sorry, I'm pretty sure it's in here. I remember my brother telling me about this when I was really young, because he was big into Star Trek, obviously, and he was a huge fan of Spock, so therefore Vulcans. Okay, it's not under that. Yeah, I don't want to waste too much of our time here, but I just thought I'd look. There's a section on Vulcan cardiac arrest. Maybe it's not in this one. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, there's something about the Vulcan nerve pinch that was a unique thing back before TNG. But even then, a lot of humans during the course of Star Trek have said they've never been able to master it. They can't learn it. So I like that. La'an will become a temporal agent and erase. The only thing left of her will be her bond between Kirk and Spock, maybe. Ozzy, Data knows how to do Vulcan neck pinch, yes. Mateo Surreal. Oh, never mind. Lesser Logic, I thought they were building up to a fight as well, and then it just ended. Yeah. Hypno Amber, I totally hope that's what they do with La'an. I would like to think I would run into her one day on one of her time missions. Yes, I think Temporal Investigations is going to be her thing. Either they're just going to fake her death, or they're going to have to erase her from the timeline entirely. Grant McGregor, I did mention liking 3 and 6. I did. I did think episode 7, I did like episode 7 as well. I'm fine with the slower pacing, and the aliens look cool in that episode, but I'd still watch the show unlike Discovery, yeah. Sergeant Montgomery, I did like seeing Jim and Sam having a drink at the end. Yes, we need to see more scenes with them together in seasons 4 and 5, because I really want to get more of their friendship, their relationship, their brotherhood, uh, before Sam Kirk dies in TOS. Would be nice, I guess. But George Mangrum, Captain, what did you think of Redhead Chapel? Yeah. It wasn't anything super awesome, but it was good enough, you know what I'm saying? Hypno Amber, agreed. I will absolutely watch this season, maybe many times, and surprisingly no skips this time. I just never skip, regardless. Even if it's an absolutely shit episode of a show, I still watch it. Grant McGregor, someone mentioned a little while back about Picard. At least we didn't get a nightmare clown, thank God. A nightmare clown. What do you mean? Like the clown from Fear? The Voyager episode? Hypno Amber, Redheaded Chapel is absolute perfection, 10 out of 10. Smart Smears, it was okay. Didn't really get emotional at the potential future stuff, but I can say it wasn't well done. The superhero Patel stuff fell flat for me, almost cringe. Liked the Kirk and Spock stuff. Yeah. George Mangrum ranks Redheaded Chapel an 11 out of 10. Hypnover says, damn, I missed Corby's jacket because I was distracted by everyone else's costumes. Well, go back and watch and let us know on Monday when we do our complete review and breakdown what you thought of his jacket and if it has Vulcan inspiration. Grant McGregor, when I heard they were channeling anti-protons to the gate with phasers in that they were energized, I had PTSD flashbacks to Star Trek Scouts. I remember what they said in Scouts. I don't. That's just a fever dream to me. Smart Smears. Rutherford also did a nerve pinch, but he's also an android and has the strength he can simulate the electricity. Yes. I don't know if it's electricity. I don't know if that's the right word, but some kind of like physiological, like, I don't know. But is it just me? Am I the only one that's heard this about the Vulcan neck pinch before everybody and their mother could do it? I don't think so. I don't even know what reference material out of all my old stuff would be something that might have it. Because let's see. I thought this might, but I'd have to hunt it down. I don't have time for that right now. But like one of the old Star Trek role-playing games. You would think it'd be in the Star Trek Encyclopedia, but that's been updated, new shit. So it was an older book. Anyway, let me know if that's something that you guys have heard or if I'm just crazy. But something I grew up with, so. Neil Hammersmith, Kirk did a neck pinch in the Omega Glory. McCoy did the neck pinch in Star Trek 3 while carrying Spock's Katra. He tried to do a neck pinch. It was also through a thick jacket, so. I don't remember Kirk doing one in the Omega Glory. I'll have to go check that out. But Graham McGregor, how old is that manual? I'd love to have that one. Oh, the medical one? Yeah, it took me forever to find this. My brother had this when I was young. This is like from the 70s, I'm sure. And I've always wanted one, could never find one. I was jealous of my brother having it. 1977. This is the second printing. So the first printing was Ballantine Books, October 1977. This is the second printing, November 1977. And it's got the flashy thing that was on the front when it was sealed in cellophane, and then you take it off and it's got that. Yeah, this book's from 1977, so around the time of the motion picture. Well, before the motion picture, actually. Around the time of Star Wars. But yeah. Get back in there. There we go. All right. Neil Hammersmith. In the Kelvin timeline, Kirk tries to use the nerve pinch on a guard in the 2009 reboot film. It works, I'll bet, albeit awkwardly. That doesn't count, though, 2009, so. Matthew Shook. Hey, Captain, do you think we will see Dr. McCoy in Season 5 of Strange New Worlds? I'm sure we will. I'm sure he'll show up at least once. Not stick around on the Enterprise necessarily, but they're going to at least meet him. Yes. Might be Star Trek or Season 4 as well. So, but yeah, he's going to be in at least one episode. I hope they don't do too many with him because that might be get a little bit awkward, but I think at least one just to meet him. Yeah. BJ, pity you can't teach me that. I have tried, Captain. Kirk and Spock on the Vulcan nerve pinch in the Omega Glory. Yeah, I didn't think Kirk did it. Mark Lawrence has gifted 5 Trekyards memberships. Thank you, Mark. So I'd like to welcome Tim McCaffrey, K, must be related to Q, Anton Smith, Lester Logic, and Schmobuddy to the channel. Welcome to the channel, guys. Mark Lawrence says, hey, everyone. Little late here, but made it. Well, it's good to see you, Mark. Glad you could make it. Guys, 46 of you here and 22 likes. Hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Ozzy, does Sam Starfleet in Season 5? Does Sam Starfleet in Season 5? He's Starfleeting now. Lesser Logic, thanks for the membership. Ozzy says leaves in Season 5. Oh, does he leave in? He might. He has to move on to his research gig. So, Hypno Amber, I will report back on Corby's jacket on Monday. Unfortunately, can't find any pics online right now. No. Plus, this was definitely from the back, looking at the monument thing, and you see this right arm of Corby's, and yeah. Renee Lorraine, thanks for tonight. Enjoyed. Have a good weekend. See you Monday. You will see us Monday. Yes, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for joining us, and catch you later. Sergeant Montgomery, Corby probably acquired a Vulcan jacket of antiquity. I like how they keep talking about Corby and his desire to become immortal, because in What Little Girls Are Made Of, that's exactly what he does. Ozzy says, how Vulcan death grip? There is no such thing as Vulcan death grip, so there you go. BJ, I know you're going to say, yes, there was. And there was. Grab his forehead, but there's no such a thing. So, BJ says, I got my encyclopedia from childhood, 1990s. I'll look it up. Please do. 1990s might be too late, though. Because that's when TNG was doing things and fucking things up a little bit. So, take a look for me. Yeah. Ozzy, how about the Vulcan death grip? What about it? As I said, it's not a real thing, so Medio Surreal, I kept my old encyclopedia, first and second edition. Yeah, I've got the double one. Where the hell is it? Or not the double one, the single one. And where the fuck is my Star Trek encyclopedia? Oh, it's up there. Yeah, I think that's one of the 90 ones, though. I think it's a second printing, second edition or something. I don't fucking know. It's an updated one, though, because it says updated on the cover. Neil Hammersmith, I got the neck pinch info from Memory Alpha. Well, there you go. But Memory Alpha doesn't have the beta canon stuff like I would have seen it in, because this Starfleet medical manual is beta canon. That's all we had growing up, like the technical manual, beta canon. But that shit was our Bible back in the day. Grant McGregor, Captain, you didn't know about the Nightmare Clown in Picard? In an interview last year, they mentioned that they left out of season 2 like a clown alien that haunted Picard's dream. I didn't know about that, and I'm glad they didn't show. That's just bullshit. What the fuck? So no, I didn't know about that. Interesting. Oh! No. Wait. Did they film a scene? Because I'm remembering something about a clown that was cut out of something. I didn't think it was Picard, though. So if they filmed the scene, then I know what you're talking about, I think. If they didn't actually film the scene... Oh my god, what was that from? Might have a move. I don't know. I can't put my finger on what I'm trying to, what I'm remembering. Hypnomember. I feel like there was a neck pinch explanation in TOS, but then it changed. Maybe it was one of the TOS movies. I don't think it was ever really explained in TOS, though. BJ, from the Star Trek Encyclopedia of 1994, says Vulcan nerve pinch that few non-Vulcans have mastered it. Spock unsuccessfully tried to teach Kirk. Data did successfully do it, but that's all they had in 1994. Yeah, that doesn't go into what I remember. It's probably in one of these books. It's probably in the medical book. I just have to read. I just skimmed over it, the section on the Vulcan physiology, but... So anyway, I don't want to harp on it too much, but... Terrence Childs, I miss Jean-Luc Picard's speeches. Whenever I call gave a speech. That was an episode I really miss those episodes. He did have good speeches, yes. It's going to drive me nuts that I can't remember what book that's in. Maybe I'll ask my brother Steve and get back to you guys at some point. Maybe do a video about it on my personal channel. Sergeant Montgomery, I think Corby is cool, like a Federation Indiana Jones. Hey, I like Corby too, man. They did a really good job at casting. I like the character. I like the actor. I think it's great. Hypno Amber, I do feel sad that this season is over. Some really good character development this season. The relationships were subtle and lovely. Yeah. Hypno Amber, the costumes were amazing and the visuals were so stunning. Donnie is here. Hello, Donnie. Sergeant Montgomery, the days when we had tactile contact with paper, magazines, and subscriptions. Yeah, back in those days, you know. Matthew Shook, hey Captain, have a good night. Live long and prosper. Thank you so much, Matthew. You too. Grant McGregor, I'm sorry Captain, for bringing up the Nightmare Clown. You might be remembering the clown from the Orville. I mean, it's not unheard them copying other material. I don't think it was the Orville. It's something recent, so it might be Picard, but I would think I would remember that. And I do remember this clown being cut out. It's something popular recently. It's just on the edge of my the periphery of my memory there. I can just it's fine. I'm not going to focus too much on it, but Ben talks Trek. Did they wind up using Picard's clown in Voyager the Thaw? No. That is Fear. And that was way before Picard, so this is the series Picard. You know what I mean? BJ says, I still have paper magazine subscriptions. I have one magazine subscription, and that's to the Sherlock Holmes magazine, which is a quarterly magazine. So Neil Hammersmith, they had a clown scene in Star Trek Orville. Alara did a fear exercise with the killer clown, the episode The Firestorm. Yeah, that's not it, though. Hypnoamber, I wonder what will happen with Pike now. After all, it was Patel who convinced him to come back to the ship. He will continue on and do what he needs to do. Picard did a nerve pinch on Tim Russ in Starship Mine. Yeah, he did. Sergeant Montgomery, are you talking about the crazy clown that was dragging Picard's mom in the trailer and we didn't see it in the show? No, I'm not. Grant might be. BJ, Nimoy suggested that Vulcans may know enough about human anatomy or they have the ability to project telepathic energy from their fingertips. What they could render a human unconscious. That's it. Something like that. I thought it was in a more formal form, though. But yes, that's exactly what I was talking about. Hypnoamber, hey Cap, my baby Vulcan turned 18 on Wednesday. Now he gets to go on his own strange adventures. Well, that's awesome. Happy birthday to them. John says 2 more seasons left. Well, yes, 1.5 technically, but yes. Sergeant Montgomery, Publishers Clearinghouse just recently stopped giving people their winnings because of lack of magazine subscriptions. Oh no. Putin's cat. Am I banned here? Not yet, but you can work on it. Donnie says, I did hear about the Paramount Skydance Corporation's bid to buy Warner Brothers. Discovery, which may place the latter's split in jeopardy of cancellation. Okay. Putin's cat says, I'll try my best. My fortune may, I don't know. Good luck. So yeah, like I said, for me, this was the Inner Light 2.0. This was him living an entire lifetime, which I like the idea of that. I like that Patel did that. It's touching that he'd be able to remember all of that and then still go on to have a life with Vina. An illusionary life that he can have anything he wants and with Vina. So he gets to have 2 fantastic lives, the little bastard. Good on him. The Vesda thing, I thought it was great tying back to another episode, and I think it's very interesting, the cause and effect thing, where this is Patel who's been guarding this thing for centuries, maybe longer. And it's a whole cause and effect thing because it's kind of non-linear, lineal. You know what I mean? I think that's really interesting story-wise, but it feels like two stories crammed together. And God, man, Pike, you shouldn't let people get old because they do stupid shit like grow their hair out. What the fuck was that? Anyway, no, it was an interesting episode. Didn't feel like a season finale. It felt like a series finale. And I really wanted a little bit more cohesive story for this last one. It's interesting they're getting rid of Patel and the way they did it. I think it's interesting, but I don't know. Something about this episode bugs me, and I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't know if it's the disjointed nature of it. I think this did, as I said, it was Inner Light 2.0. I think this did a better job than Inner Light, if I'm honest. At least he had a life with somebody that he actually loved. Instead of being forced into someone else's life and learning just to accept it. So, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this episode yet. As odd as that sounds. So, it'll be interesting to see where we rank it or how I score it on Monday because I'm not sure at all how I'm going to do that. And I'm sorry we didn't have our regular schedule where we would have reviewed it earlier today. But there's just been a lot of shit going on in my life, so there's a lot more to come. Gonna have a busy couple months here, so. All right, Neil Hammersmith. The highlight of season 3 for me was the space Mothra and the space bunghole, the wormhole. I like space things. Hypnomember, I don't think they will be able to do that merger. They will have a cash flow problem for a while. Disagreements are always welcome as long as it's without any attack at all. Yes. Joseph says, well, gee, thanks YouTube for not telling me you were live. Well, goddamn YouTube, I've told you, I've warned you about YouTube. Make sure you hit the bell icon and click it to all. Not that that's going to really help the situation, but it might. And I even scheduled this like hours ago. Donnie says, Warner Brother holds the subscription rights for the original Ninja Turtles and the children. I don't care. There's nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I think he's having an ongoing conversation with other people. So. Hypnomember, the Inner Light part was too big of a cut. It was the best part, but it should have been at the end. Took out the moment of danger with Gamble. Yeah, I think that's maybe what did it. It kind of broke the tension. I do like that it's referenced though, like in their vision. Like I never really understood what happened with Gamble. It's like, yeah, well, neither did I. Yeah. Joseph Barbado, this was another one that hit you right in the feels, but in a different way. So are we to assume that Pike got a chance to live a full and happy life with Patel in her light style before reality hit? Yeah, absolutely. That's what you meant. That's what happened. Had an entire life with her right up to the point where she passed away on the bed, and she had enough love built up to defeat the evil. That's exactly what happens. So he's going to have those memories. He's going to have memories of an entire life with her, which I think is fantastic. So yeah, I like that. I do like that idea. Way better than Inner Light for me. Neil Hammersmith said, I heard you say funeral. Sorry for your loss. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Rich Klein. From Memory Alpha, Nimoy explains Spock had taken courses on human anatomy. Nimoy said Vulcans emitted energy from their fingertips when applied to the human's neck renders the human unconscious. Yes. 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 Thank you. So it is on Memory Alpha. Good. Good. I'm glad. I like that theory. I like that idea that a Vulcan has a unique... Like, that's why they don't like shaking hands, right? Because their physiology, like, it... That's why the mind meld thing works. Like, I like that. They're uniquely qualified to do neck pinches. That's why Kirk could never learn it. I think that's cool. It would explain why Data could do it, because he's an android. He could emit the same kind of electrified energy. Anyway, Diesel Robot. I haven't seen what everyone else thinks of the episode, but I thought it was really weak. Overall, wasn't a fan of this season. Yeah, a lot of people are right there with you on both points, the episode and the season. I rather enjoyed the season. This episode I'm not sure about, though. This is probably the weakest of the season for me. Maybe second weakest. So, but I liked a lot of the episodes that other people didn't like, so we might not agree on that. Donnie, also DC Comics had to publish Star Trek comic books. Or used to publish, yes. Grant McGregor, I think it should had it where they needed the Gorn to defeat the big bad, and Patel changes and leaves. But they were meet someday on Talos 4, or at least link Talos 4 on the ley lines. Yeah. Joseph Barbado, does this make an interesting dilemma in the menagerie? Because why would he want to go to Talos 4 and not Vadia 9? Because he would be sitting in a room with the statue in a wheelchair and going to say yes or no. If he goes to Talos 4, he's got the Telosians that can make him essentially walk and do and be young and live an entirely new life, another life. Don't know why he wouldn't want to live it with Patel, but you know, Vina also needed a companion, so it makes sense to put those two together. Maybe during their interactions in their life that they were living, Pike says, you know what, would you be interested in a threesome? I know this fantastic lady. I don't know. But who the fuck wants to sit in a room with a statue that doesn't do anything and all you can say is yes and no? That doesn't sound appealing. He's a robot, but we've seen Data do a neck pinch. Yes, I know. We've talked about that ad nauseum at this point. Hypno Amber, hey, everyone in the stream, or I'll send the on after you. Hey, everyone, like the stream. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Joseph Barbado, sorry to hear about your loss, Captain Foley. Thank you so much, Joseph. Neil Hammersmith, I thought the inner light angle takes away from Pike and Vina. I thought Pike and Patel were better off as captains with benefits. I disagree, 100%. Diesel Robot, I think the episode had way too much of the characters trying to explain what was happening. Yeah, not doing a very good job of it. So yeah. Zachary Gibbons, I thought the episode was good in terms of ending Captain Patel's character arc. They ended it with her sacrificing herself instead of going out Redshirt style or Tasha Yar style. Yep. Grant McGregor, Picard could use the nerve pinch on Tim Russ because of Borg augmented physics, psychic brains, which went into protect mode like his son. Plot hole solved. Dun dun dun. Yes. Rich Klein, $10. Thank you so much, Rich. Thanks for Friday night with the captain and Pugs. An uneven episode. Scotty in a dress uniform was awesome. The dream sequence should have been shorter, and the final conflict with Gamble longer. I disagree. I cared more about his life almost than the Gamble didn't interest me from the beginning of this episode. I liked Gamble. Don't get me wrong. When he died, it was awful. But this, I was like, what the fuck? Like, one of the taglines I was going to put on the thumbnail for this was the final boss, like a video game. Because it just seems silly and stupid. So yeah, the gamble thing, it was such a quick wrap up too. It's just like, yeah, I have the power now. I have the love. It's stronger than your evil and hate. And she just like dissolves him. So yeah, I see what you're saying, but I didn't need him to come back at all, if I'm honest. Joseph Barbato says, good call out, good point. Don't know who you're talking to, Joseph, or what you're talking about, but yes. Lesser Logic, completely agree on those points. To Rich Klein. Terrence Childs, is it what's happening on the ship called fraternization in the military? Who gives a shit? They're on long, extended space missions. Also, Starfleet's not quote unquote the military, even though they are. So who gives a shit? Mr. Captain 93, maybe we see Vina reach out next season. We've already seen Vina, but maybe. Neil Hammersmith, the whole ending writing off Patel was bullshitted together, similar to the reason they got rid of the Gorn. Sure. BJ, from Star Trek 5, we know McCoy has another solution to Captain Pike's disability in the menagerie. Pull the plug. It's awful. Diesel Robot, the final fight with Gamble reminded me of Stargate Arc of Truth with the Ancients versus the Ori. Hypno Amber, yeah, Captain, definitely sorry for your loss. I also hope the weekend treats you well enough. I hope it does too, because like I said, it's London Comic Con. Spent the afternoon setting things up there. Had to repaint my TOS captain's chair because it's a little scuffed up from the other conventions it's been to. But I have a captain's log coming out on Friday, next Friday, about the London Comic Con, so you can check all that out there. So, but yes, it's an early day tomorrow, long day tomorrow, and then shorter day on Sunday, but still early. And I got stuff going on next week too. Like, I got a lot going on as of late, so thank you guys. Sergeant Montgomery, the season was okay. For 10 episodes, it's probably hard to put good story arc as one could write in a 25 story arc. Or 25 episode arc. Yeah, they need more episodes. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Smart Smears, it felt like this should have been resolved next season. It was too soon. Yeah, but like I said, this felt like a series finale. It felt like they didn't know they were getting another season when this was written and filmed. Because it just feels like a series finale. Just with the way that last little bit was. So, who knows? Hypno Amber, the Gamble actor was so much better in the other episode. Also, he makes a better happy ensign than a vicious killer. 100% agree. Zachary Gibbons, I also like seeing the life Pike and Patel could have had. Their dream world was good. I also enjoyed the Kirk and Spock interaction. This episode was a mix, there was more than I liked and disliked. Yeah, it was just a weird, disjointed episode. A lot of good stuff in there, yeah. Smart Smears, I always find Spock mind melds funny because he's yet another person that knows about Spock's secret sister and the classified Discovery ship. Oh shit, yeah. BJ, what about Sam Kirk's ley lines connection planets? I think that's cool. I like that there's ley lines on Earth. I think it's cool that there's ley lines in space. Makes sense. Terrence Childs, well, now I know the Federation people bring their families on board ships. It diminishes the fraternization rule if you're married. There you go. See? Joseph Barbato, does this one kind of make the point of saying the only reason Kirk and Spock are such close friends is because of the mind meld? Oh, God. I don't think so. I don't think that's what they were trying to do. Diesel Robot, I was scared to watch the episode when I saw Trek Culture's Doctor Who thumbnail, but Pelia's throwaway line was fine. I just really disliked when the fans say there should be a Doctor Who crossover. I mean, there has been a Doctor Who crossover in the form of a comic book with Star Trek, so But yeah, I don't want to see that either. Joseph Barbado, yeah, the way it ended was very series finale-like. Yeah, absolutely. And Hip Number, she says, see, that's what I didn't like about the Mind Meld, is the Kirk and Spock connection. That's why they're friends thing. Yeah, I get it. Sergeant Montgomery, I agree. It felt like a series-ending episode when it was mentioned with enough planets for a 5-year mission. Yeah. Smart Smears, a lot of the Lower Decks character arcs took place across half the series. If you want to have arcs, you have to look beyond them lining up within seasons like they used to. Yeah. Zachary Gibbons, I also love that Kirk finally told Spock, why don't you call me Jim? Diesel Robot, were they not sure they were getting renewed when they wrote this episode? That's what I was wondering. I even said that to Sylvia. Like, this seems very final, you know? Without getting too much into it. And I know that they were almost finished filming. I believe they were almost finished filming when they found out they got another season. Or they had just finished filming. So yeah, I think it might be possible that they weren't sure they were getting another season. So this would have been a good close to it. I don't know. That's a very good question. Anyway, guys, we're just over that hour mark, so I think I'm going to call it there, but I really enjoyed talking with you guys about this episode. Sorry it wasn't yesterday. Like, just things have come up. And so if you want the complete full breakdown and review with me and Sam, check us out on Monday on this channel at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will get into it. So it was nice to chat over this. Absolutely, Lesser Logic. I'm glad you guys joined me. Like I said, I'm tired because I've had two early days. I've got 4 more early days to go. And I think I'm probably going to head to bed soon. So thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all of you all the time. You guys are awesome. And looking forward to hanging out with you again next week. So until then, and I don't know, I might keep these late night lives at least 1 a week going, but not on this channel. I'll put them on my Captain Foley personal channel because I do like doing them. And with no new Star Trek on, I don't have a reason to because there's no more first reactions. But if you guys are interested, and we'll check it out on the Captain Foley personal channel, I might try to make it a once a week thing. I did for quite a while over there, and then I kind of drifted away from it. So let me know, and we'll see what I can do. So, but anyway, get some rest. Yes, I will, Lesser Logic. Thank you. Thank you, Sergeant Montgomery. Thank you, Diesel Robot, Jamie, BJ, Hypno, Gastro, everybody. You guys are all awesome. Thank you so much. And Marco as well. So, all right. Have a good night, guys. I will talk to you soon. Captain Foley, signing off. Bye.